Hi everyone, Mackie79 here and welcome to this new deck tech video of Magic Duels. So with the tournament going on, it has been a while that I built a new deck and posted a new video. But yeah, I've built this Mardu control deck. As you can see, it goes more to the control-y side. And it has some synergy with artifacts and everything. So don't be afraid, it's not a vehicles Mardu build. Yeah, I had enough of those. Anyway, let's check it out. This is actually a deck that I was considering taking with me to the tournament. But at the end, I can't remember the reason why, but at the end it didn't make it. So let's check out what I've made of it. So Walking Ballista to go first. Now we're not playing ramp, or we don't add any counters to creatures or anything, so this isn't going to get super abused. But it is still a great card, and it can deal with planeswalkers a little bit, keep them in check, and that's important. Then I play 2 copies of Renegade Map to thin the deck out a little bit, and as you will see, I have some synergy with artifacts that can abuse this a bit. And I don't play any Evolving Wilds, so it's a bit of a good card here for the mana fixing. Then I play 3 copies of the Fatal Push, still on, still it is a new card of course, but it is one of the best early removal cards that I can think of, so pretty awesome. The Alchemist Vial, I play all 3 copies. No, sorry, I played only 3 copies instead of 4 copies, probably for the mana curve to get it right, and I think 3 copies will be sufficient. Also because I probably wanted to play 3 copies of this Implement of Malice. For 2 mana we get this artifact, and for a black we can sacrifice it and target player discards a card and we draw one ourselves, because when this hits the graveyard you get to draw a card. So that's a difference of 2 cards, so that's pretty good for 3 mana. And I'm actually a big fan of this card. I like it a lot. The Scrap Trawler, it's not a card that you see a lot actually, at least I don't. Is it good? Yes. Is it very powerful? Is it broken? No, absolutely not. I think maybe in a sacrifice deck that you can pull more value out of this one. But he has his charm. So whenever he or another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand a target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser converted mana cost. So pretty decent card, and normally I'm a bigger fan of Treasure Keeper because he gives you value right away. But this one comes out at 3, and I also played this one instead of the Treasure Keeper for the curve. I wanted to curve out a little bit better, and this one was important for that. Then the Filigree Familiar, you guys know by now that I like this card as well. Also 3 mana, and you know him by now. When he enters the battlefield, gain 2 life, and he dies, you draw a card. And he's a 2/2. Decent card. Then actually the card where I wanted to build around a bit was this Pia's Revolution. So for 3 mana, a red and 2 colors, you get an enchantment. And whenever a oh my god, it's early. Whenever a non-token artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Pia's Revolution, deal 3 damage to him or her. Now there are cards where they will be happy to take 3 damage for, like the more powerful, more expensive artifacts. But also for a Walking Ballista they will take 3 damage, no problem, and probably even for the Trawler and maybe for the Familiar. Not so much for the Vial, and definitely not for the Renegade Map. And for the Renegade Map that's actually pretty nice, because if you can start abusing this one, you are sure of your land drop every turn, and you thin out your deck, so that's pretty awesome. And the Alchemist Vial, yeah, he's a draw engine if he comes back every turn, so that's very nice. And actually I'm pretty when I first saw this card I was already intrigued by it. I also played it in the story mode, you get to play with it, and I was already intrigued by it and I wanted to do something around it. It is a rare, so you can only play 2 copies. I don't know if I would play 3 or 4 anyway. But it is a nice card. When it hits the board and stays there, yeah, your opponent has to deal with it sooner or later, because yeah, if he doesn't take the 3 damage, yeah, you will have card advantage all the time. And yeah, if he takes the 3 damage, yeah, obviously he will die. So then the Anguished Unmaking in this color, not playing this card would be totally nuts, of course. So yeah, still one of the better removal cards out there. Speaking of the better removal cards out there, is this Unlicensed Disintegration, and he's definitely a bit better than a Murder in this deck, because usually you will have an artifact out, so that means that you get to deal 3 damage to a creature or a planeswalker. Then I also wanted some chump blockers against decks that go white, and Pia and Kia Nalaar do that great. The second ability that they have, to sacrifice an artifact and deal damage to a target creature or player or planeswalker, is also relevant in this deck, so you can start sacrificing your artifacts. Yeah, Walking Ballista, I mean Renegade Map, for example, or whatever that you want to sacrifice. And when then the Scrap Trawler is out, that could be very, very fun indeed. Then I play 1 copy of the Restoration Gearsmith. For 4 mana we get a 3/3, we get something back, an artifact or a creature card from our graveyard. So he's a kind of a little a better Gravedigger actually. Yeah, I like this card. I'm a big fan of it. It's a nice card. Then I played 2 Languishes. I played first the Expertise, the new board wipe, but he only does -3/-3, and I found that if you only play that one, sometimes you're out of reach, and yeah, Languish does the job just a little bit better, and yeah, for me that was more important than the cascade effect. Then Nahiri the Harbringer, because she can deal with artifacts, enchantments, or even with creatures. She also has a built-in filter with the +2 ability, and the last ability is also very nice in this build. Then the white Gearhulk here, for 5 mana, yeah, we get a pretty decent effect here. He's a 4/5 on its own vigilance, that's already pretty nice. And when he enters a battlefield, we get each player has to choose an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents he or she controls, and then sacrifices the rest. Now the nice thing is that this one is an artifact and a creature, so you don't lose this one and another artifact or a creature. So what I like about this, instead of tragic arrogance, is that this one, I told this before already in another video I think, but this one has the same effect, but you get an extra body on the field, and that's so important with this effect, because if not, your opponent can still come out stronger than you, and now that's likely not the case. Then I play a vehicle, sorry for that by the way, but the Consul Flagship is a good card in this deck, and he's a 6/5 flyer and he deals damage. Pretty awesome card, one of the better vehicles in my opinion. Then the Noxious Gearhulk, for 6 mana, 5/4 menace, and you get to destroy another target creature and you gain life, which is also pretty relevant. And then the Marionette Master, all 2 copies of it, because we play a bunch of artifacts, and yeah, that can go really fast when he's out there. So yeah, usually we will make him, we will let him come into the battlefield with 3 counters on him, and yeah, if we can get rid of some artifacts like the Alchemist Vial or the Walking Ballista, they can take care of themselves. They can wind up in the graveyard all by themselves. Also the implement can do that, and if not, we can sacrifice an artifact with Pia and Kia here. So yeah, pretty decent. And that's it actually. So for the mana we play 3 plains, 5 swamp, 3 mountains, the Needle Spires, the Shambling Vents, the Smoldering Marshes, the Clifftop Retreats, the Isolated Chapel, the Dragonskull Summit, and the Inventor's Fair. Just, yeah, legendary land, only 1 copy of course. And that's it actually. So yeah, I don't play any Evolving Wilds because, yeah, the only thing that can fix my mana is a Renegade Map, and I only play 2 copies of it. So no Evolving Wilds because I don't want to miss a land drop either. So let's check the curve out real fast. So the curve, 5 1 drops, 6 2 drops, then 12 3 drops that were pretty important for me. Then 6 4 drops, 2 5 drops, and 3 6 or 6 plus drops. But the most expensive card is 6. So yeah, that's the deck for you guys. I hope you like that one. As you can see, no planeswalkers except for Nahiri, so that's a bit for the enchantment control. And other than that, we still have the Anguished Unmaking that can deal with pretty much everything. So yeah, that's it actually. I hope you like this deck tech video, and I hope I will see you guys at the gameplay video. I already had a real blast with this deck. Like I said, I was really thinking to take this to the tournament. I like it a lot. It was pretty fun to play with all the time, so I tested it quite a lot. And it gets a result, but sometimes you get smashed like there's no tomorrow. Sometimes it's just not happening, and I think that was what made me decide not to play it. Also, I'm looking at it afterwards, I'm pretty glad because we have enough Mardu builds out there. They're most of the time vehicle decks, but I think after the tournament everyone will be tired of these colors. So I'm glad I chose my Timur deck, although it has its limits as well, as you could saw in the third round gameplay. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I see you guys at the gameplay video. See you there guys, bye bye, have a nice day.